How am I supposed to tell Samantha her ex-fiancé is really a vampire who was grooming her as a breeder, killed her sister, and stole our son? With both species of blood in her, who knows how she will react? Not to mention how we only have 2 days to find them before he turns our son. We need to find them now, yelled Samantha. I was confused. How could she know? I can hear your thoughts, Anthony. I know everything. I will kill the son of a bitch myself for taking my son and betraying me for years. Samantha goes to get out of bed. No, Samantha, stop. You have been through a lot and lost a lot of blood. Baby, you have to stay in bed. I told her. My pack and I, along with allied packs, are all out hunting for them. We will find them. There is nothing wrong with me, Anthony. She says. I am fine. I feel fine, other than my new abilities. I must adjust to. I am fine. The doctor starts checking Sam out. I cannot believe it, Alpha. She says. She is right. She is all healed. She has even healed faster than a werewolf. Sam buckets over in pain. She throws up thick black liquid. What is that? I asked. Her body is fighting the venom, says the doctor. She does not want to be a monster and is fighting her turn. Samantha's eyes are bright yellow, almost glowing. Black veins run through her body. Her skin is turning white. I can hear her bones snapping and shifting. I have no idea what she will be, vampire or werewolf. I can hear her screaming as she turns. I notice her eyes are still yellow, only now they have red centers instead of black. Her hair turns white with fire-red sticks, sharp big fangs and teeth form. Her legs stretch. She now stands 9 feet tall. She was still beautiful. Then out of her back, a pair of wings stretch, outside filling the room. Samantha! Her head snapped towards me. What? She snapped. Oh my God, she can speak in this form. You are beautiful, Samantha. I am a monster because of you. This is not beautiful. Her voice was harsh and deeper, not the same as when human. I hate you. You cannot mean that, Samantha. I said. I do. I have you. You helped turn me into a hideous monster, a killing machine. I will never forgive you. I did it to save you, Samantha, for our son. I never knew Adam was going to show up and be a vampire and bite you as well. First the attacks on me, the lies, the betrayal, finding out I had sex with a monster, now this. Why did you run, Samantha? Why did you hide you were pregnant from me? I asked. I watch as Samantha begins to shift back to her human self. When I found out I was pregnant, I came to tell you. She says. Then I heard you tell Devin, if I were to ever step foot on your territory again, you would kill me. What? Oh my God. Baby, no, I was talking about Victoria, Madison's mother. I said. I make Samantha sit down and go over everything with her and explain. You can read and hear my thoughts, babe, so you know I am not lying. All I care about is getting my son back and placing my niece with family. She says. As for you, stay out of my way, or the monster you created will kill you. In a flash she reshifts, her wings spread out, and she jumps out the window and flies away. She hates me. My mate hates me. Alpha, you must go and find your son before it is too late, says the doctor. I hurried out of the room and from the hospital. I shift and take off to join my pack. I must find my son before it is too late, and I must get my mate back. I cannot believe my twin sister is dead. She had done so much to me, but she was still my sister. Now her daughter will never know her mother. I will revenge my sisters and my life. I will kill Adam for killing her, for making me a monster, and for stealing my son. I will show him no mercy for his crimes. I love Anthony. I have since the night we made love in the cabin. I know now I misunderstood, and it was not me he was talking about. Maybe this moment would not have happened if I never overheard that conversation and fled. But what is done, and because of it, I am a monster. I will have to learn to live with it, but also learn to control it. I do not want to be the horrible creature Anthony told me about. But that is something I will have to deal with later. Right now I must track that monster who took my son and make him pay. I stand high on the very edge of the highest peak, on the highest mountain, looking out over the town and land below. With my new eyesight, I can see the werewolves running through different parts of the forests in search of the vampire. Stay out of my way, doggies. Adam is mine. Get in my way and so be it. I roar, spread my wings and fly towards the wolves. I screech above them as I fly over. I can see them all shifting and taking cover. Only Anthony stand alone looking up at me. I screech and dive for him. I pin him up and fly towards the top of the trees. I hover above the trees, looking into Anthony's frightened eyes. Samantha, please. He says. I love you. I love our son. All I want to do is kill him. The beast inside me keeps saying to rip his head off or drop him to his death. I have to fight the beast inside me. If I give in, I will be no better than they are. I have to stay true to my heart. I must fight the urge to kill. Still holding on to Anthony, I dive back towards the ground. A few feet before hitting the ground, I drop Anthony and fly up, make a circle, and hover back over, taking one last look towards Anthony before roaring and flying away. I need to find my son. Adam. Son, you must take that baby and leave it in the forest. I cannot do that, mother. The new moon is in 2 days, and I shall make this baby my minion. No, my son, we told you, you cannot control them. My mother says, you cannot control an adult one, mother. This one will learn as a child to obey me, to do my bidding. I tell her, you fool. She says, do you not remember the kings who have thought and tried that centuries ago? Sure, it works well, they are a child. But the child is too weak to fight the beast within them. You will lose just as those before you have, just like you saw your grandfather fail years ago. No, mother, I remember that day as if it were yesterday. But I am going to succeed. This time it will be different. I am making one from my blood as a baby. That is where everyone went wrong. You are a fool. This will never work. This coven will have no hand in helping you. She says, your father and I are leaving and the rest are following us. You are on your own, Adam. You are abandoning your son. I asked. You are years old, my son, and have doomed us all. So yes, you are on your own. She turns and walks out of the room. It is you and the coven who are fools, mother. I will prove you all wrong. I will make my minion and take back this world, and no one can stop me. Mrs. Woods. Are you ready, my love? No, dear. Our son is a fool. I am afraid of what is to come. I say. I agree. That is why if we plan to keep living we must leave before the creature awakens and comes for Adam and her baby. I agree, dear. But I cannot leave the baby here with our son. What he has planned is wrong. He forgets what these creatures can do. He forgets all the death and destruction these creatures caused. We cannot allow him to make another. We must take the baby and return him. Then you know what we must do. Yes, I do. He says, let's go return the baby before Adam finds out he is missing. Then I pay my love the creature will not kill us, and we can go and find the sword forged from the golden dragon's fire. I hate to betray our son, but we can have what happened years ago happen now. If he lives through this, he will come to understand. Come, my dear, let's get the baby and flee. Please forgive me, Adam, but Mother knows what she is doing. This world is not ready for these creatures. I pray we can find the sword before she wreaks havoc on this world. I am so hungry. The craving would not stop. I could hear the heartbeat of a deer nearby. The beast inside me kept calling for it. I had to keep fighting him. I cannot kill anything, not even an animal. But I am so hungry. I hate you, Adam Woods and Anthony Prax. I yelled. You turned me into a monster. My wings spread out. I took flight. The beast consumes me and attacks the deer. There is nothing I can do to stop myself. I rip into the poor deer, eating him. Adam, time for your feeding, my little minion. I walked into my room to gather the baby. No, damn you, Mother. I know it was you. You will regret crossing me. No one crosses Adam Woods and gets away with it. They cannot have gotten too far. I must catch them before they hand over my minion. I have a day and a half left. I must hurry. I need that baby to help me rule this world. Nothing is going to stop me this time, nothing. This time I win. By the time I finish eating the deer, only the bones remain. No matter how wrong I feel about it and hate myself for doing it, I am no longer hungry. I feel content and stronger. I walk to the running stream a few yards ahead, and clean the blood from my claws and face. I gasped as I saw my reflection in the water, then let out an angry roar. I began to thrash about, knocking over trees, throwing boulders, and roaring. I am so angry. I am no longer the beautiful human I once was, and thanks to two monsters, I will never be again. Samantha, I heard someone yell my name. I was so mad and destroying things around me, I did not smell or hear anyone approaching me. I spun around and saw Anthony stand there a few feet away, a scared look on his face. I suggest you get away from me, Anthony, if you wish to live. I said. Samantha, please. This is not what I intended to do. I only wanted to save you. It was Adam who went and made the beast you are now. He says. Maybe so, but you still had a hand in it. You knew my thoughts on wolves and creatures. I said. Is this a payment for hating them? There is nothing I can do to undo what has taken place. He says. All I can do is love you, stand by you and help find our son. I told you before, Anthony. I do not want your help. I hate you. Okay, fine, but can we sit and talk? He asks. What is there to talk about, Anthony? Our son, for starters, Samantha. He still needs a name. He still needs both of us. I will name and raise my son without you. I spread my wings and took flight. Why can he not see what he has done to me? Why must he continue to think I would want to share my life with him, after all that has been? I flew high into the mountains and found a cave. Shifted and lit a fire. Anthony is right. Our baby is going to need a name. I lay on the floor of the cave, next to the fire, and think of names. Only I cannot really concentrate. I have been out flying and hunting for Adam all day. I am tired. Soon I am fast asleep. Alpha Anthony. I just hung up the phone with my mother and daughter. Madison really misses me and wants me home. She was crying. She is only 6. She does not understand everything yet. She asked me about Samantha. I had to lie and say I have not found her yet. Breaks my heart my mate hates me. I never wanted to make her a monster. I merely just wanted to save her life. How was I supposed to know her ex was a bloodsucker and watching her? I take a seat next to Devin at the fire. How you holding up, Alpha? Devin asks. I wish things were different, Devin. I really wish I could turn back time and fix everything. I said. Did you know she heard me tell you, if I ever see Victoria on my territory again, I would kill her? She did. Hey? He asked. She had just found out she was carrying my pup, and was coming to tell me, only she heard me say, if she ever came on the territory I would kill her. I said. She thought I was talking about her, Devin, so she ran and hid. If Victoria never would have come back, I never would have said that she never would have heard it and ran. We would be together now with our son. My God, what a mess, said Devin. I am sorry, man, I really am. Well, what is done is now. We cannot change it. All we can do now is find my son and kill that bloodsucker. I said. I want him to suffer a great death, Devin, for all he has done. Then I have to hope and pray Samantha will come around and be with me. I need her and our son. I cannot live without them. I get up and take a walk. I needed to clear my head. I notice a large boulder by the creek and take a seat on it, looking up to the skies. I pray you can hear me, my moon goodies. I begin. I know I am not the best of alphas. I know I do not deserve anything from you. But please, please keep my son safe. Please bring him back to his mother and me. He is the innocent one. He should not be put through any of this because of my mistakes. A twig snaps behind me. I jump off the boulder and spin around. I can smell 2 vampires. Show yourself, I order. From behind the trees steps a female and male vampire holding my son. Please, Alpha. The man speaks. We mean you no harm. You have my son. Give him to me now. I say. The women took a step forward, just as Devin and the warriors show up. Please, oh please, we mean no harm. She says. We came to do the right thing and return the child. Stand down. I tell my back, the step back. How did you end up with my son? I ask as she passes me. My son. I take him and check him over. He seems unharmed. Adam is our son. The male vampire says. But we have no intention of a war with you or any other species. I begged him to return the child and stop all this. The female vampire says. He is so fixated on the moon tomorrow night. He planned to use the pure child and turn him hybrid, as he did his mother, and use his to rule the world. Only our son is a fool, says the man. He forgets what has happened years ago, when it was last attempted to control and use a hybrid. It just cannot be done. He does not realize what he has done to this world, but just turning Samantha. She says. So we tricked him and stole the child and came looking for you to return him. I thank you for returning my son. This means the world to me. I said. In return for returning him, I will allow you to live. We thank you, Alpha, and please you must take the baby and go now. We believe our son is not far behind us. Correct, Father, we hear a voice. For I am already here. Give me the baby now. Adam says. No, Adam, enough, says his mother. The baby is back where he belongs. You must stop this madness now and leave. I said, give me the baby. I will never hand my son over to you. I said. Adam laughs. You stupid dog. I need that child. Now, give him to me before I rip your head off. Son, listen to your mother. His father speaks. It is over. You cannot do what you plan on doing. you will fail like everyone before you. No one can control these creatures. Silence. How dare you both betray me and return the baby? Adam said. You knew my plan, and yet you betrayed me and took the side of a dog over your son. We take the side of the right thing, my son, says his mother. You are being foolish, you doomed this world. We cannot let you do more. Again Adam laughs. As if you can stop me, he says. A loud roar came from above us. She's coming, said a warrior. Oh dear God, said Adam's mother, then took off running. An ice ball explodes in the trees, then another 2 ice balls create a ring of ice around us. We are all trapped inside the ring. She roars again as she flies over us. I can feel the wind from her wings. Then a loud thud as she landed in the middle between us, roaring one last time. Adam laughs. Well, he says, I have never seen a white hybrid before, or one that can breathe ice. Samantha has not taken her eyes off Adam. She growls at his words. I must say for a hybrid you are rather beautiful. Adam says, oh, the things I can do with you to rule this world. And what makes you think I will do as you ask? Samantha asks. Wait, says a shocked Adam. You can speak as well. I'm years old. There has never been a hybrid before who can breathe ice, talk, and look as beautiful as you. You, Samantha, are differently a new breed. Samantha's head turns towards me. Her eyes land on our son. Give me my son now, she roars. Yes, Alpha, give the child to his mother, says Adam. Then the 3 of us can leave and begin for the new moon. Oh dear God. We turned our heads to see that Adam's parents had returned. Adam, you fool, she is not a hybrid. Of course, she is mother, just a new breed of one. Adam, she can speak, she can breathe ice, she is not the hybrid you think she is. Adam looked at Samantha. Then what the hell is she, then mother? He asks. There is no way she was just a human before you both bit her, said Adam's father. I was human, stop talking about me, like I am not even here. Samantha roars. Give me my baby now. No, the child is mine, said Adam. I need the child for the new moon, now hand him over to me, dog. Samantha let out a powerful roar that shook the ground and trees. It was almost deafening. Adam was making her angrier. Samantha spread her wings wide, her tongue exited her mouth and wrapped around Adam, pulling him to her. Adam screams in pain. It burns. Why does it burn? What is happening? I stood there holding my son. I was in shock and scared all at the same time. I have no idea what Mate had become or what was about to happen. When Adam reached Samantha, she grappled him with her scaly claw hands, her tongue returned to her mouth. You have done so much to hurt me and my loved ones. I will never allow you to touch my son again, or hurt any more people I love. No, please, Samantha, please. Adam begs, realizing his mother was right, and he could not control her. Please, I am sorry, forgive me, I love you. You only love yourself. And with that Samantha breathed ice into Adam's face. Adam screams in pain and horror. The sharp hook on her wing pierces Adam's heart. His body begins to burn from the piercing of his heart. Then in one final move, Samantha rips his head clean from his body. She drops his burning body as it turns to ashes. Adam's mother falls to her knees screaming about the loss of her son. Samantha turns back to me and walks towards me. When she is standing in front of me, she shifts and is human. Give me my baby, she says, reaching out for him. I allowed her to take her son. I watch as she smiles down at him and kisses his forehead. Mother loves you, Nikolai. She says, I will never allow anyone to hurt you. You beast, yells a grieving mother. You killed my son. He killed me first, says Samantha. Come, my love, let us leave before we suffer the same fate as our son. He says to his wife. Leave now, says Samantha. I will let you leave. I will allow you to live because you returned my son to his father. Do not make me regret it. Wait. I spoke. I must know, if Samantha is not the hybrid you all thought she was, then what is she then? Adam's mother looks up at me, and through her tear-stained eyes, she speaks. Samantha is not the hybrid Adam was hoping she would be, but she is a hybrid. What kind of hybrid? I asked. Samantha is the human ice dragon hybrid. The sword forged in fire from the golden dragon is worthless, says Adam's father. I do not want to kill my mate. I said. So that means nothing to me. It will, Alpha. One day you and this world will want to kill her, said Adam's mom, and with vampire speed, they both were gone. I turned to face Samantha and our son. So Nikolai? I asked. Yes, Nikolai James Prax, she says, never taking her eyes off him. It is a strong name, I like it. I said. She looks up at me. I really do not care if you like it or not, Anthony. This is my son. I killed one of my markers. I will spare your life simply because you are his father. But I had you for what you made me. Why can you not see I did it to save your life? You are alive because I bit you. I said. No, I am dead, Anthony. Only ice runs through me. My heart is pure ice. You bit me for your own greed of wanting me. I would have rather died than be an ice dragon. I am truly sorry. You are my mate and I love you. I wanted our son to have his mother. I love you, Anthony. I shouldn't, but I cannot help it. But I cannot be with you. She says. Why can we not be together? We love each other. We have a child together. I cannot live among wolves and humans no more. Alpha. I turn to see my pack watching on. Some of the other alphas want to kill the ice dragon. Others want to capture her, says Devin. What would you have us do? No one is to touch my mate, I yell. Send everyone home. If anyone makes a move for Samantha or my son, kill them. I turned back to Samantha. Please, my love, stay with me. I cannot, Anthony. You were just told I am wanted dead or captured for God knows what. She says. It will be nothing but war, and more killing to get me. I must go. I fall to my knees, tears stain my cheeks. I was granted a second chance, mate, and I fucked it up. All I do is fuck up. I feel the wind from her wings and looked up. My beautiful ice dragon stands before me. Goodbye, Anthony. No, please, no. I say. What about my son? He will always know about his father and all he has done. She says. We will be watching you, Anthony. And with that, she flies away with my son. Years later. Come on, Mom, be reasonable, says Nikolai. I am 15 years old. All I know is this ice castle. I have no friends. I am no longer a child. I want to be regular. I am sorry, my son. I know growing up in an ice castle high on the mountaintop was hard. I said. I build you this kingdom. I did the best I could. I know, Mother, and you have. I just want to meet my father, make friends. He says. I have my wolf mom, and in 3 years I will shift. I think my father could teach me more than my mother could about being a werewolf. I place my hands on his cheeks. You look so much like your father. When I look at you, I see him. I tell him, I am sorry I was not a better mother to you. Wait, what? No. Mom, you were an awesome mother, the best. He says, I just think it is time I meet my father. Very well, son. If that is your wish, then so be it. I will bring you to your father. Nikolai jumps into my arms, hugging me. Thank you, mother. You are the best. I am going to pack. I watch as he runs up to his room. I cannot help but feel afraid. He has no idea about the real world, only what we have been watching and what I have taught him. He has seen the cruel men come for me time and time again. But I cannot have my son hate me. So if being with his father for a while is what he wants and needs, so be it. I will not be far. I will make sure no harm comes to my son. But I must stay in the cold, too long in the heat, and I will die. Ready, Mom, says Nikolai, running down the stairs. I love you, my son. I say to him, please understand how hard this is for me. How will I live without my son? I love you too, Mom, and I am not leaving you forever. He says, I just want to meet my father and sister you have told me about. I know, and I agreed for you to go even though what one? Even though he knows where we have been for 15 years, and not once has he bothered to come up here and see you, nor has he ever called to ask about you. I said, that is one question I have for him, Mom. Nicole says, from what you have told me, and what I have read about mates, I myself do not understand why he just did not care. As I had to explain to you many nights over the years, my son, your father has chosen another woman to spend his life with. But, no, Nicole, it is what it is. I took you and left, remember? I refused to be with him, after all the lies and deception, and for making me what I am today. I told him. So I am fine. I have learned to live with the pain. Alpha Anthony. I said, no, Madison, you are 21 years old, and have a mate. Have him buy you a new car. That is why I am here, Daddy. Jason said no, because my car is only 8 months old. And he is right. I did not raise you to be a spoiled brat, Madison. Fine. She says, I guess I better get back then. We have a pack BBQ tonight for some coming of age kids. All part of being head of the pack, my dear. I smile at her. I love you, Dad. I will see you next week for dinner. She says, are you going to make it this time, Madison? I asked her. Is it just the two of us? She asks. No, Madison, your mother will be there as well. She is not my mother. She may be your wife, but she is not my mother. My mother is dead. Fine, your stepmother then. Then no, I will not make it. I told you, Dad, if you bring her I will not show up. Jesus, Madison, when are you going to get over things? When I found my mate in Alpha, Jason Ross, of the neighboring pack, I was so glad to leave here, she says. I never wanted to leave you, Dad, you know that was hard for me, but her. I could not wait to get away from. You know how mean she was to me. Madison, I love you, Dad. I have to go. If you change your mind about our weekly dinner, and just want one-on-one, let me know. She gives me a fast hug, a kiss on the cheek, and runs out. Ever since she found her mate AT-18 and left the pack for his, things between us have not been the same. I miss my baby girl. Trying to get her to meet for dinner lately is getting harder and harder. I did not know my wife Gwen was treating her and her sister the way she was. I kept myself busy and on the road a lot. I have a lot of regrets I am running from. Alpha. Devin yells, bursting into my office. What is it, Devin? What has happened? I asked. Nothing has happened, Alpha. He says. Then what in God's name is the meaning of bursting in here that way? Downstairs, in the living room, is someone to see you. He says. I am not expecting anyone, so tell them to make an appointment. I am busy. No, Anthony. This guest you are going to want to see. He says. Please just trust me and follow me. Fine, Devin, but this better be worth it. I am busy. Sam. I took Nicole to the ski resort, hoping to find someone who could get Anthony. It is summertime, so I know the resort is closed. But I never did see where his house, or the so-called pack house, was. Lucky, they have cameras and security. They saw us land. I asked the guard to get Devin for us. He was so thrilled to see us. He drove us over to the pack house and has us waiting in the living room for him to return with Anthony. Are you nervous, son? I ask. Yes, a little, but excited as Devin comes back, entering the room, a big smile on his face. Come on, Alpha, hurry. He says. That smell, says Anthony, stopping in his tracks. His eyes met mine. Hello, Anthony. I say. Samantha. It has been a long time, Anthony. You look good. I say. Yes, it has. You look more beautiful than ever. He says, not taking his eyes off me. Nicole steps out from behind me. I see Anthony's eye move to him. His mouth open with a shocked look on his face. Anthony, we need to talk. I speak. He walks closer to us. Once in front of us, he reaches out and pulls me into a hug. I have missed you so much, my mate. He says, then releases me and moves in front of our son. Nicole. He asks. Yes, sir. Nick answers. Oh, my son, my dear son, how I have missed you and longed for this moment. Anthony says, taking Nick into a hug. I cannot believe you both are here. He says. After all these years, my dream has come true. I can see a tear in the corner of his eye. Anthony, as you know, our son is 15 years old now. He has received his wolf. I spoke. Oh, my son, that is fantastic news. He says. Nicole has asked me to bring him to meet his father. I said. He would like to get to know you and his sister and learn about his kind. Of course, yes, oh yes, says Anthony. He is my son, of course. He can come and be here. I have waited for this day. I have a few questions first, sir, says Nicole. My son, I am your father. You can tell me that, oh father, not sir, says Anthony. As I said, I have some questions first. Of course, please come, we shall go to my office. He says. We follow Anthony up to his office. I am starting to overheat in my white gown and cloak. I will need to get cold soon, or risk thawing out my heart and dying. Please have a seat, he says, motioning to the sitting area of his office. Can I get anyone anything to drink? He asks. I need some ice water, please. I say. Oh, mother, I forgot, says Nicole. Are you all right? I am for now, just a little overheated. I will need to return to the freezing cold soon. Anthony comes back with a cold glass of water and hands it to me. My first question is, Nicole began. Why have you not come to see me in 15 years? Why did you just return home and never reach out? I asked myself that every day for the past 15 years, my son. He says. I wanted to climb that mountain and see you every day. I wanted to climb up there and never return back here. Then why didn't you? Because your mother made it clear she hated me. She wanted nothing to do with me, because of my involvement in making her what she is. He says, one day you will meet your mate's son, and you will understand how hard it is to be hated and unwanted by your mate. Your mother is my second chance mate and hates me to climb that mountain, and see her would kill me. So you just cause my mother pain instead. You just move on with your life and family like I do not even matter. No, Nicole, that is not it at all. Of course, you matter to me. Your mother matters to me. I love you, my son. He says, wait, did he say I caused you pain? I may have taken our son and left Anthony, but there was no formal rejection. I said, so, I know you are with another and have been for 15 years. I feel it every single time you are with her. Oh dear God, I am so sorry. I never thought you would feel it. He says, Father. A girl's voice comes from the door. I am sorry for interrupting, but Mother is going crazy. You blocked your link. She says, I cannot help looking at this girl. She is about the same age as Nicole, and she looks, my God, she looks like me, only her hair is brown, not blonde like mine once was. It is not white. Oh my God, is that Gracie? Gracie. Yes, hello. She says, I am sorry, but have we met before? Once when you were just a few months old. I replied, I cannot believe Anthony stole my sister's baby and raised her as his own. He promised he was going to return her to my parents and find her real father. He lied to me again. What the hell is wrong with men in this world? Gracie, just tell your mother I am in a meeting, dear. Says Anthony. A meeting? Is that what we are, Anthony, a meeting? I asked, totally annoyed and angry now. How can he call his son a meeting? And her mother? Are you serious right now? Samantha, please, not now. Says Anthony. Oh, but I think now is a perfect time. I said. Gracie, go now. Ordered Anthony. The girl runs from the room with a scared look on her face. I thought my sister's name was Madison. Asked Nicole. It is. That is not your sister. That was your cousin, my twin sister's daughter. I said, not taking my eyes off Anthony. Please let me explain. Says Anthony. Yes, please do. Please tell me why my niece is here, calling you daddy, and not with her real father, or her grandparents. Please, I am dying to know why you lied to me again. I said. Anthony sits down and puts his head in his hands. I had all the intentions of finding her real father. He says. I even began the search, but then I had met Gwen, and Madison saw Gracie, and thought it was her sister, so I just thought, what was the harm in keeping her? She was brought up well. She was not yours to keep, Anthony. She is not a part of you in any ways. She is my blood. She had a right to know her true family. I know, okay, I know, but you took our son. Madison thought she was our daughter, because she looks like you. So I just kept up the lie. A brown-haired woman burst through the door. Who the hell scared the shit out of my daughter? She yells when I hear her call my sister's daughter her daughter. I lost it. Without even thinking, I shifted into the ice dragon and pinned her to the wall. She is not your daughter. I yell in her face. She screams. Tony, help me, get this thing of me. Samantha, please calm down, let her go. Says Anthony. Mom, please just let her go. Let's talk about it, please. Begs Nicole. I shift back and let her go. Do not ever call her your daughter again. Do I make myself clear? I said. She runs to Anthony's side. He puts his arms around her in a hug. Tony, who are these horrible people? She says through tears. Tony, I ask. Yes, she calls me Tony. Anthony says. I couldn't help but laugh. Nicole, are you sure you want to be here? I ask. I am not sure anymore, Mother. This is not how I pictured things would be. He says. Wait, Nicole, says Gwen. Is this your son, Nicole? Yes, and his mother Samantha, says Anthony. I see. Well, just remember I am the Luna here, so I remind you to treat me with respect and never touch me again. I growl, and she jumps. I do not care who or what the hell you are. I only care about my son and niece. I said. She is my daughter. I raised her. I am all she knows. I shift again and went to go for her, but Nicole and Anthony both stand in front of me. Enough, says Anthony. I know and understand why you are mad, Samantha, but please not now. Fine, I yell. I will let it go for now, but she is to know the truth. Do I make myself clear? Please, Sam, be reasonable. We raised her. Why ruin things now after 15 years? Says Anthony. She is to know. Well, I will tell her myself. I can feel myself getting hotter. I need to leave. I will take my leave now. But like always, I will be watching and will be back. I say. If she does not know by the time I return, I will inform her of the truth. I turn to Nicole. I love you, my son. You know how to reach me if you need me. I tell him, pulling him in for a hug. Oh my God, Mom, says Nicole. You're warm. You have to go now. I am. Just be safe and have a good time with your father. I will return. I turn and hurry out of the office and the house. I shift and fly back up to my ice castle. Alpha Anthony. What did you mean she was warm? I asked. Mother is the ice dragon, sir, so she is ice herself. If she thaws out, she dies, says Nicole. Well, I did not know that. I said. I had no clue what it took to kill the ice dragon. I never cared, because I could never hurt my mate. Just seeing her made my and my wolf's feelings come back to the surface. I cannot deny how much I love Samantha and want to be with her. What is going on here, Tony? Asked Gwen. Why is he here? He is my son, Gwen. This is his home as well. He has come to meet his father and learn to be a wolf. Without talking to me first, really, Tony? She says. I am the alpha. I do not need your permission for anything, Gwen, and my son does not need permission to be here. Whatever. He just better fall in line or else. Or else what? Nicole asks. Both me and Gwen look at him. Or else you won't like what happens. Gwen says. Let's get one thing straight here, miss. He says. You are nothing to me, therefore I do not take orders from you. I am the son of the Alpha. I am here to be with him, not you, so stay out of my way. Are you going to let this kid talk to your Luna like that? She asks me. Yes I am. I said. Because he is right. He is the Alpha's son. He is the future Alpha of this pack, and you are not his mother. So I warn you, Gwen, to watch your step around my son. I was blind to what you did to my daughter Madison. I won't be to my son. Gwen huffs and stormed out of the room. What you say we go and get you settled into a room, then go for a walk around and meet some people? I asked. Sounds good to me. He says. But Dad, I meant what I said. She is nothing to me. I will not take orders from her. I only listen to my mother. I know, son, and it is all right, trust me. One day, I will explain Gwen, and why I even married her. Samantha, I am feeling a lot better now. With everything that was going on, I lost track of time. I will have to remember not to lose track of time again. That woman just made me so mad. Who the hell does she think she is calling my niece her daughter? I meant what I said. She has a right to know she has a blood family and a real father out there. I am sure Anthony did a great job raising her. He was a great father to Madison. I really hope I am doing the right thing. I hope it is safe for my son to be down there. I always knew this day would come. I was prepared for it. But now that it has happened, and he is gone and with his father, I cannot help but feel it was a mistake. I feel something horrible is going to take place. It is a good thing I had our necklaces made. They are of a dragon, but there is a spell on them. If Nicole were to ever get in trouble and need me, just needs to rub the necklace, and mine will signal me and take me to him. As long as he has that necklace, I will always find him. Gwen. Finally, after 15 long years, the ice dragon shows herself, and even leaves her son with us. I can finally inform Daddy she is back, and he can attack this stupid pack. I can finally go home and leave this hellhole, this stupid alpha and his bratty kids. Thank God we were never mates, so he could never tell when I was with other men. I cannot stand when he touches me. But now that the dragon has come around and let her son, my father can destroy this pack and claim that bitch dragon, and I can be done with this whole thing. Hello Daddy, it's me. She has returned. Excellent, my daughter. I was flying overhead and happened to see Anthony alone on his balcony. I fly down and land beside him. Hello Anthony. I said. Nice day, isn't it? I'm glad you're here, Samantha. He says. I have been thinking about you non-stop since you showed up a week ago. Please, Anthony. I started to say. No, Samantha, please, let me finish. He says. When I first met you 15 years ago, I fell in love with you. I was so broken because of Victoria. I never touched another woman. I swore I would never love or trust again. So when you stole my heart, I tried so hard to fight it. I could not love you, nor could I love a human. But I lost that battle. I gave my heart to you. Then I was blessed by the moon goddess, when she granted me you as my mate. I am so very sorry I bit you that night, and tried to turn you. I knew you were against our kind. I knew you would never want to be one of us. But I was only thinking about saving my mate's life, and my son's mother. I take full responsibility for everything. I had no idea it was a vampire at first, who owned the wolves. Watching you, nor did I have any idea Adam was a year-old vampire out for power. How was I supposed to know he would bite you, thinking he would make you the hybrid he needed, only you because this instead? I know all this already, Anthony. I learned a long time ago to live with what I am and forgive you, but I still. No, Samantha, I love you. I have always loved you, and I am so sorry I married another. I am so sorry I took her to bed. I am so sorry for everything. What are you getting at, Anthony? I am asking you to forgive me, to love me back and be my mate, wife, and Luna. I want us to be together, and finish raising our kids together, the way it always should have been. Anthony takes 2 steps towards me and takes my hands. I, Alpha Anthony Prax, pledge my love, heart, and soul to you, my mate Samantha Robertson. I could not help but shed a tear. His words touched my heart. I know he speaks the truth. I know he loves me. The truth is I love him as well, I always have. But the lies, the deception, the pain of him with another, can I just push it all aside and just be happy with him? Then, there is also the issue of his wife Gwen. Is he just going to throw her away? Please, Samantha, say you will be with me. More tears fall. Oh baby, please do not cry. I did not mean to upset you. He says. You did not upset me, Anthony. Your words just touched me is all. I said. So does that mean you will give us a chance? Well, isn't this lovey-dovey? We look towards the balcony door and see a pissed-off Gwen standing there with her arms crossed. I had a feeling when I first saw you here, this was going to happen. She says. Then having me and my things moved to another floor, I defiantly knew something was up, but really Tony. After 15 years. You knew the whole time I never loved you, Gwen. You knew I would always love Sam. I have always been upfront with you, so do not even act like you are shocked. He says. I am going to go see my son. While you two discuss this, I will see you later. I said. Before I can fly away, Anthony pulls me into his arms and kisses me. I couldn't pull away. I craved for his kiss and touch. But then I remember Gwen was standing there and pulled back and flew away. As I round the front of the house, I see Nicole and some boys standing there talking. I land in the trees, shift and walk out. Hey Mom. Nicole says, jogging up and hugging me. Hello my son. How have things been going? I asked. I want you to meet some of my new friends, Mom. He says, pulling me over to the group of boys. Hey guys, I want you to meet my mother, Samantha. He says. Mom, this is James, Ethan, Max, and Carter. It is nice to finally meet you. The one called Ethan says. My father is Devin Saxon. Oh my, I had no idea he had a child. I said. Yes, he finally met my mother, his mate, and settled down. Ethan says. How old are you, Ethan? I asked. I just turned 13 last month. Well, I am so happy to meet you, to meet all of you. I said. Are you going to stick around, Mom? Nicole asks. I was just heading to the mall with the guys. I smile at Nicole. I am so happy he has made friends and is happy. I do not know how long I will be down here. But you go and have a great time, son. You know I will always be around. I smile at him. Thank you, Mom. You are the best. He says, kissing my cheek. Love you. I will see you later. I watch as they all climb into a car, and one of the Omegas drives them off to the mall. I was feeling a little left out. It had always been just me and Nicole, and now I must share him. I was feeling a little warm, so I decided to head to the kitchen and go side one of the walk-in freezers to cool off. I blew a little ice to make it colder. I was standing there enjoying the cold when I hear someone enter the kitchen. I'm telling you, Daddy, that bitch is here now. It was Gwen's voice. Yes, well, you better attack soon, because the stupid alpha is planning on divorcing and kicking me out sooner than we thought for her. So if you are going to kill them and capture the ice dragon, now is the time, then I can finally come home. Oh my God, she never loved Anthony. She was just a pawn for her father to get to me. I have to warn Anthony he is in danger. I have to get my son out of here. I storm out of the freezer ready to confront Gwen, only the kitchen is empty. So I hurry and run up the stairs to find Anthony. I smell his scent coming from his office and rush through the door. Anthony, I say, entering. We need to talk. Anthony looks up from his desk, a worried look on his face. When he sees my face, getting to his feet, he walks around his desk to me. Samantha, my love, what is it? He asks. What has happened? Anthony, you are going to be attacked. I blurted out. Wait, what? He asks. Samantha, what are you talking about? I was feeling overheated, so I went into the walk-in freezer to cool down. While I was in there, I overheard Gwen on the phone with her father. I said, they are planning to attack your pack. I know, he says and walks away from me. What? I said. What do you mean you know? I knew the day she showed up 15 years ago something was of. She had never shown any interest in me before. He says. Her father is Alpha Jason Snow. He was one of the Alphas who had come to help us look for our son when Adam stole him. He is also one of the Alphas who wanted to capture and use you to rule the werewolf world. If you knew she never loved you, why the hell did you marry her for? I asked. Why allow my niece to think she is her mother? Gwen thinks we are legally married, but we are not. I had it faked. He says. Oh my God. I said, plopping down in the chair. More lies, more betrayal, and deception. What is with you, Anthony? Is this all your life is? No, Samantha. No, I just had to know what it was they wanted. I have been waiting 15 years to figure it out, and now I know. He says. They want you, Samantha. All this time it is you, the ice dragon, they want. Yes, well, they aren't going to have me. I said. I am going to get our son and take him and Gracie and leave. No, says Anthony. Please no, we can beat them. We can do it together. I need you. My mate, please do not leave me again. You still do not understand, do you, Anthony? I said. This is not about you and what you want. This is about our son and his safety. You are right. My God, you are right. I am so sorry. She says. Yes, go get the kids and take them back to your place. I will handle this myself. Anthony. I said. I never said I was not going to help you. But the kids need to be safe first. Once they are safe in my castle, I will return to help you deal with the attack when it happens. It is me they want, after all. Only they will not get me. I do not understand why I have to be here, mother, says Nicole. I told you, you are not safe down there, Nicole. I need you to stay here and look after Gracie. I tell him. Where am I anyway? Asked Gracie. Why am I even here and where are my parents? Just hearing her say parents makes me upset. She has been lied to her whole life about who her mother really is. I warned Anthony I would tell her, if he did not. Listen, Gracie, come and sit please. I asked her. My name is Samantha Robertson. I had a twin sister. Her name was Jade. She was killed the day Nicole was born. I tell her. I am sorry to hear that, but what does that have to do with where my parents are and why I am here? She asks. Because you see, Anthony and Gwen have been lying to you your whole life, sweetie. She is right, sweetheart. We look up and see Anthony standing there. Anthony, how did you get up here? I asked. It wasn't easy, my wolf had a little trouble, but we made it. He says. Gracie runs and hugs Anthony. Daddy, I am scared. What is going on? Come and sit, Gracie. He says. It is time you knew the truth. I pace the room as Anthony breaks it to Gracie of who she really is. I wanted him to be the one to tell her, so I never said a word. So all this time I have had a horrible mother, who is not even my real mother. She says. Is that why she was so mean to me and Madison? Yes, I am sorry I saw most of it. I was too busy trying to figure out what her intentions were. He says. And now we know. And what are those intentions? Asked Nicole. May. I spoke. They want me, my son. Nicole jumps to his feet. What do you mean they want you, mother? What is going on? You have always known alphas have been hunting me. They either want me dead, or they wanted to capture me and use me to help them gain control and rule the werewolf world. I said, Gwen and her father want to capture me for control. We have to stop them, says Nicole, panicked. This is all my fault. If I had never wanted to meet my father and had gone down there, they never would have found you. I walk over to him and pull him into a hug. No, Nicole, is this not your fault? Do not even think that way. I tell him, other have found me over the years. You know that he would have found me too sooner or later. You wanting to meet your father was and is not a bad thing. But if I had... No. I cut him off. This is not your fault, do you hear me? He shakes his head yes at me, still a sad look on his face. I hear crying behind me and turn. Gracie is by the window crying. Gracie, my dear. I say. What is it? What is wrong? I do not even know who I am, where I come from, or who I belong to. She says. My whole life has just been flipped. I am sorry, my dear. This is my fault. I say. I should have just left things alone. I was just so angry Anthony had lied to me again. I was not even thinking about you and how you would feel. I am so sorry, my dear. If it helps, it was my sister, your mother, who named you. I said. And she did love you very much. Do I look like her? She asks. I smile. You look a lot like her, my dear. Your mother looked just like me, only with the same hair like you. I see a smile on her face. And what about my father? She asked. I am afraid I do not know who he is. The man your mother said was your father was not. She never got the chance to tell anyone who he was, I am afraid. When this is all over, will you tell me about my mother? She asks. I smile and pull her into a hug. I would be more than happy to. Please forgive me, sweetheart. Anthony says to her, placing a hand on her shoulder. I will help you find your real father. I started to look for him. But well, I fell in love with your chubby face, and you looked so much like Samantha. I couldn't let you go. What you did was a horrible thing. I had a right to my real life. But you were an awesome father, and you made sure I was always happy and had everything I needed. So I forgive you. But my so-called mother, she says, I always wished I had another mother. A nicer one. I guess I did. We all sat together a little while longer and talked, and explained to the kids they needed to stay here in the castle, where it was safe. Anthony, I think we should bring Madison here as well. I said. They could always try to use her against us as well. Madison lives 2 hours away with her mate. He is an alpha. He and his pack will keep her safe. He says. Okay, very well. I said. Nicole, take Gracie to your side of the castle and give her the room next to yours, then show her around. I said. Wait, said Gracie. His side of the castle. Nicole and I laugh a little. My mom may be the ice dragon and have to stay cold, but I am a werewolf. I need heat. The half of the castle I stay on is heated, says Nicole. Oh. I watch as the kids climb the stairs and turn to the left. I cannot help but fear for them. If anything were to happen to either of them, I could never live with myself. I feel warm arms wrap around me. Those same tingles I felt years ago run through my body, and I melt into his arms. I cannot help it. I have missed him and his touch for a very long time, but my pride kept me astray. You have done a great job raising our son. He is a very smart, talented young man. Anthony says, "He is going to make one hell of an alpha. You have done well with Gracie, I must admit." I said, "I am sorry I let my anger get to me and made you tell her. Maybe I should have just left things be." Anthony turns me around to face him and wraps his arms back around my waist, pulling me closer to him. "No, Sam, you were right. She needed to know. She needs to know who you are to her, and about her real mother." He leans in and captures my lips, his tongue pushing through. Our tongues taste one another. I wrap my arms around him and deepen the kiss. I cannot help but think what it could have been like raising our son together. If I was never turned, if things would have been different. I have spent years hating and blaming this man, but deep down I love him. We break the kiss, both gasping for air, our foreheads together. "I missed you so much, Samantha," he says before recapturing my lips. His hand slides up my back. He takes a handful of my hair and pulls it, my head leaning to the side. He kisses the spot he had marked long ago. "My mark is still here," he says. "After all these years it has never faded." He sucks on my mark, making a moan escape my lips, and my knees weaken. He has always been able to do this to me. I can feel heat and wetness between my legs. "I can smell your arousal, my mate," he says. "Take me to your room now," he orders me. I do not know why, but I took his hand and led him up the stairs and to the right, and hurried down the hall to my room. As we enter my frozen ice room, I stop and turn to him. "Are you going to be able to stay in here?" I asked him. "I am a werewolf, remember we are always hot. Being here for a while is all right," he says, kissing me. He walks me backward till I fall back onto my bed. "You are mine," he says softly, pressing himself into my depths. I pulled against his grip and sucked in my breath with a faint "Ugh." He pressed even deeper, my head thudded against the headboard, heat pulsing through my blood from the point where his cock was driving me crazy. My leg flexed against his back, urging him deeper inside me. My hands cupping his head, pulling his face to mine. I feel the rough satin strand of his hair against my flushed cheeks. He gasped and jerked as I tried to keep up with him. He found my response to his thrusting very exciting. "Oh, yes, more please, Anthony, please," I beg. I dug my nails into his hips. "I am almost there," I cried. I felt him shift, allowing himself to press even more against me. With the incredible feel of his shift and deepness, I flew over the edge, seeing white and gold stars. "Yes, yes," I screamed. Before I could come down from my high, Anthony grunts and cries out as he comes inside me, tossing me over the edge once more. After making sure he had pushed all this seed inside me, he rolls of me laying beside me, pulling me into his arms. "That was so incredible," he says, kissing my forehead. We lay there together, holding one another. For the first time in 15 years, I felt right. I felt like this is where I belong. I belong with Anthony. It is time to forgive him and move on. "I love you, Anthony," I say. "I always have. I love you too, Samantha. I always have as well. Perhaps once this stuff with Alpha Snow and Gwen is over, we both can be happy together for once and raise our kids together, the way it should have always been." I cannot help but lay there and blame myself for all the time we have missed together. I never should have let my pride and anger take over me. No matter what I am and how I came to be, I can no longer deny the fact that I have always loved this man.